1, 2, 3, 4, 5, doing a level check for the Fox 19 Now live streaming weather show. And I think for the first time in a long time, the streaming software that we use tells me that it is going out live right now on YouTube. So hopefully, if you're a YouTube viewer and you've been trying to get a hold of this program, you may have it tonight. I am going to check it on my phone, and I'm with you here in less than a minute. Been a busy day. We've got some shower and thunderstorm activity in the tri-state, and we'll talk about all that coming up. And I hope you've had a good 4th of July, and I think I've got good news for you for your fireworks shows. So again, we'll be with you, and under a minute, I'm going to launch on my phone YouTube so that I can monitor what's going on there. Right. Okay, it is 7:15. Hi, everybody. This is meteorologist Steve Horstmeyer coming to you from the streaming center at Fox 19 Now. And I'm looking at my phone, and hallelujah, I see that it is live on YouTube. We've been having trouble with this, not just me, but Ethan Emery, who's kind of a whiz kid when it comes to technology, a whiz adult. When it comes to technology, has been having trouble with it. So there's something subtle that we're not picking up on. But right now we're not only live on Facebook, we're live on YouTube. And as soon as I push a couple magic buttons here, we are also now live on Roku and a couple of other platforms like our streaming channel. We are on our apps on the website. And again, what you're looking at here is our tower cam shot looking off to the north and west. Now you see the smoke there in the background, just a little bit to the left to center. That is effluent from the power plants in southeast Indiana down in the river valley. Okay, and what that tells you is that the winds are out of the south. We have mostly cloudy skies. And the other thing I want you to notice is that if you look at this, you see more and more haze the farther and farther away you go from the camera. And so that's what we're looking at there. We're looking at that high humidity causing the hazy conditions in the tri-state. And it's definitely, it is a muggy day out there. I just couldn't believe it when I went out earlier. Walked out this morning and it's like, oh my gosh, it's like having a sauna in the area. So overall, nice weather coming our way for Saturday and Sunday, and we'll talk about that coming up. So let's go ahead and take a look at what else I have here. Now, these are personal weather station temperatures, okay? Everybody knows somebody that's got a personal weather station, and the National Weather Service has a way that they can sign up and provide data, and so we are able to access that data and provide it for you. So we've got temperatures around 81 in both Connersville and Liberty, Batesville and Greensburg, both at 82, 85 in Lawrenceburg, 81 down in Owenton, and the hot spot looks to be 85 in the Lawrenceburg area right now, and down to 79 in Brooksville, but they, not too long ago, a couple hours ago anyway, had some rain. The cloud cover didn't clear as quickly, and they haven't had time to recover. Now let's take a look at the heat index values at the personal weather stations. The Oxford area, 90, 85 in Lebanon, 90 in Mount Orb. Any circle that doesn't have a number in it means either A, the station didn't report, or the station is not equipped to report heat index. 92, the heat index in Florence and Crittenden, and 90 in Greensburg and Batesville. So it is definitely a very sticky evening around the tri-state. Now here's the shower and activity we've been watching. Okay, now I'll show you the model in a couple minutes, and you'll see that the model is really way overdoing this, blowing it way out of proportion. So if we zoom in here, what you'll see is that the shower activity, there's no lightning in it yet, so it's not thunderstorm activity, but from Connersville, just about to move into the Brookville Lake area, that kind of blue thing you see north of Brookville up to Liberty, that is the Brookville Lake. So you can see the rain. Now, even though it's not a thunderstorm, if you're in Batesville, okay, so Greensburg is right there. If you're in Batesville, right near where that dark red spot is, okay, you are about to get a really hefty downpour. Not necessarily a thunderstorm, but a downpour. We'll zoom into that, and that is a pretty hefty. So there's Batesville. You can see Batesville right off to the right. Salt Creek, and then from east of 421, you can see that is moving. So a lot of areas are going to get quite a bit of rainfall. Let's see what the rainfall rate is on that. Let's see here. I've got to find the correct, there we go. rainfall rates. So we're going to switch over to rainfall rates now, and it gives you different colors, but it also allows me to do an on-screen query. And so you see that right back here to the west of Batesville by quite a bit, 3.23 inches of rain an hour. That's an immense amount of rainfall. Now, sometimes you'll pick up some hail on these showers or thunderstorms, but this is not hail. Hail is typically hailstones, much bigger than a raindrop, and they're water coated, and the combination of solid ice coated with water reflects a lot of radar energy, and so it comes back as a really heavy rain sometimes, and that's one of the things a meteorologist has to kind of figure out. And so 3.23 inches of rain there near Salt Creek, right along I-74, okay? We'll see that that's 2.28 inches of rainfall. And again, if you head to the south, just north of Millhausen right at the bottom of your screen on the left there, 2.23 inches of rain. So there's rain that's coming down in buckets. Now, it's not going to last that long, but if you get in one of these showers, it's going to be blinding. There is just no doubt about that. So we'll go back to just plain old radar here. What you'll see here is that's an old, I'm going to erase that. I will redo this by hand. So they're moving about 32 miles an hour. Okay, so you'll want to know if you're going to end up getting one of those showers. And so what I can do here, go to full screen, I can draw, and I don't know how much of it shows up while I'm actually doing it. Okay, you can see that line I'm drawing. Now, the showers are moving off like this, and it'll tell you that they should make it into Brookville by 7:32. It's 7:21 now, so it's about 10 minutes, 11 minutes away from Brookville. Morgan is Morgan Township in Butler County. The city of Hamilton by 8:22. Coleraine Township by 8:53, and 9:12 into Deerfield Township. And so there will be a few spots that are getting pretty close to having a shower in the area with the fireworks. Now, the rain itself isn't a problem, but if they do get a little bit stronger and create a little bit of lightning, that'll be an issue. But I think for the most part, those showers should begin to fall apart and not be an issue for the fireworks displays. The sun sets at 9:08. Takes about 40 minutes for it to get dark, so that tells you it's, I don't think most areas launch fireworks at 9 o'clock. It's going to be probably more like 10 o'clock when it's dark enough to really enjoy them. And we'll see temperatures drop off into the 70s, but it'll be very, very sticky, and a few hit-and-miss showers and thunderstorms out there. We're also looking at 73 degrees for the overnight low. That 73-degree temperature accompanied by the high humidity means it is definitely going to be a pretty nasty way to start the day with that high humidity. It's going to feel like a steam bath once again when you walk outside. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. Now, this is a model view of what we've got. Okay, and I keep, you see me looking down, I'm continuing to check YouTube to make sure it's running. And before we get to the model thing, that's what I want to explain. What we're trying to do is give you the weather in as many places, on as many platforms, as many times of the day as possible. And that, for the most part, the biggest number of viewers we have with these streaming shows that are live come from Facebook. That's because it's easiest to put that on there and most people look at it. We also have it now on YouTube. Again, I mentioned we've had some problems getting it to run, but it seems to be running right now just fine. So it's on YouTube, and it was on YouTube all along, but now it's archived. It's put in the library so you can go back and look at it. We also have it on Apple TV. If you bought like a Roku TV or a TV with built-in internet and access, it doesn't have it there, but if you've got one of the little black boxes that's Apple TV, you can get it there. So we've got Facebook, we've got YouTube, we've got Apple TV, we've got it on Roku, and if you want to just look at it on our weather app, you can do that. You can look at it on the news app, and you can look at it on our website, along with looking at it on our streaming channel. So you can go to our streaming channel on the website, which says Watch Live, select the weather, and you can see this very program as it happens on the streaming channel. So that's where we are. Okay, now let's get back to this model. Okay, now this was at 5 p.m. This is what the model said, and it was doing pretty well. It had this exactly right. This rain was not there. Okay, what does that tell the meteorologist? That in this particular circumstance with the humidity we have, with the upper level conditions we have in that the model was over predicting rainfall. Okay, so we're looking at, now let's, I'm going to just step through let's just hit it and see where it goes. Okay, so that by 7:30 p.m. it had numerous showers and thunderstorms from Union County across Franklin County here through the Brookville area. Heavier storm moving into Oxford, all the way down here into Ohio and Switzerland counties, along with Boone, Kenton, and Campbell, northeastern Butler, northwestern parts of Warren County. And so it had a lot of rain on there. Okay, so that was what it was saying as of 7:30, so right about now, a few minutes from now. So I'm going to stop this. Okay, so keep in mind what you just saw there, and we're going to go back to radar and compare what we've got. Now remember, lots of rainfall here in southeast Indiana, pretty much though in Ohio also. And so this is what meteorologists do. Models aren't perfect, just like weathermen, models aren't perfect. They have their flaws and they can be wrong, and so what you've got to do is you've got to constantly pay attention to what the models are saying and what you're seeing, and that's kind of what we do at the Reds. And once you get into, like, let's say the Reds are playing a game and rain is closing in, you're no longer forecasting, you just toss the models and you just do what we call nowcasting. Use what you know to see what's developing and how it's going to impact the Reds, because sometimes we'll have rain really heavy. It'll be enough to pull the tarp only a few blocks north of the stadium. Other times it's hitting the stadium, and so you just have to watch it from minute to minute. Okay, so I'm trying to find the radar again here. We'll get to it in a second. There's just a lot of stuff. Okay, now remember, all through southeast Indiana, quite a bit here in Ohio. Let's see what's actually happening now based on the latest radar. Okay, I'll load that. It'll pop up here in a second, and we can look at it in more detail. And it takes a little while. There's a lot of data there. Okay, so I'm just going to say now, so it gives us only now. So now remember, it had rain and thunderstorms all the way down here into Ohio County. It had stuff across Boone, Kenton, and Campbell counties. It had stuff up here. And that's what we mean that by the model is overproducing. Well, over forecasting or overproducing rainfall. And so we do have this shower and thunderstorm activity, which is tending to die out now. And we'll go through it pretty quickly here for you in a minute. We also have some other spotty stuff, but notice most of the Fox 19 Now viewing area not getting rain and probably won't have rain for the fireworks. So let me just scrub the timeline here. And that's TV shorthand or you take the slider and you slide it back and forth so you can go back and forth in time. So scrubbing the timeline. Okay, so look, now watch this, okay? So here come those showers right there. Now this is the radar right there, okay, and if we head into the present, you can see that they kind of die out. So let me zoom in. Okay, we'll zoom in here and we'll look at this in a little bit more detail. Okay, so there are the showers developing right there, and I'll give you full screen here in a minute. Right there along Interstate 65. So if we go to full screen, you'll be able to see it. Okay, there are the showers we're just watching. They're continuing to move to the east. Notice they're developing into a line right there. You still don't see any lightning, and now look, here they were. Look, there's the most, right there. That's where they're the strongest. You see a lot of dark red. You see the cells tending to grow together in a line. Now watch what happens in the last couple of frames. The dark red, still in a few of them, but it's beginning to shrink back. They're no longer trying to form a solid line. They're more than likely going to pretty much die out before they make it into Ohio, although they still bear watching because they could become an issue. Okay, so that's what we're talking about not nowcasting. You got to look at what's happening and what's going on. And right now, after seeing those develop, they kind of form a solid line. Each of the cells had a large dark red core in it. The dark red cores are smaller, disappearing. The lines tending to break up. That tells me we're not in for big development. Now, I've been wrong on that before, but in this case, I think we've got a pretty good handle on it. Okay, so that's what we mean by the model overperforming or overproducing rainfall. And we pay attention to that all the time. I mean, if you ever hear a meteorologist or a TV weather person talk and say, oh, yeah, I got the forecast done, and so it's time to take a little bit of a break. Well, the thing is that the forecast is never done. The forecast is always a continuous process. So when I come in during the day, Let's say during a weekday, Frank Marzullo, Catherine Bodak have been in the morning. Catherine overlaps with me, and so we talk about the forecast. She's updated it through the day. I start looking at what's been forecast, what's going on. I'll modify it a little bit, and when I get done with it and start doing weather shows in between weather hits, as we call them, in between the times that I'm on the air, I check constantly the current conditions and that to see what changes there are and how that may impact you and what you have to deal with the weather. And so if you ever talk to a TV weatherman or weather person, let's say, and that person says, oh, the forecast was done, well, that's not true. The forecast is never done. It's a continuous process, and a good meteorologist will always know that. Okay, so I just clicked the wrong thing again. So we're back. We're back to the radar here, and we'll just step through that. So there's the radar. You still have a pretty good cell with some heavy rain in the northern parts of Ripley County, right here. See the red cores here? Okay, this one has lost its red core altogether, so is this one. And there's a little bit of a red core still left here, but they all tend to be, and notice they're no longer a continuous line. They're actually four separate cells. And so some places will get wet. When it does rain under this cell, it's going to rain heavily, and then it'll be gone. Okay, so that is that. So, okay, so this evening the sun sets at 9:08. We're looking at temperatures dropping off to 75 at a sticky 75. We're looking at 73 for the overnight low. And again, we're back to the model now, and notice the model's producing a lot more rain than is actually out there. And that's why I think most areas will be dry without lightning for the fireworks. Again, that low is 73 degrees, high tomorrow 85. Still very sticky with some scattered showers and thunderstorms back in the forecast tomorrow. Here's your 7-day forecast. Looking at a low tonight of 73, a high tomorrow of 85, 66 and 83 on Saturday, 64 and 88 on Sunday. Now, both Saturday and Sunday look much nicer than we've had lately. So 85 tomorrow, very sticky. One of the big things going on tomorrow is Reds are back in town. They just beat the Yankees 3 straight. They swept the Yankees in a series for the first time since 1976. And that's quite a while ago. Let's see, what's that, 48 years? Yeah, like 47, 48 years since the Reds have swept the Yankees in a series, and that was the World Series. So that's a big deal. So if you're going down to see the Reds play on Friday against the Detroit Tigers, here's what we expect for the weather to be, okay? We're looking at first pitch, 83 degrees, humid but dry. I think the shower activity we've got popping up dies out and moves east, so I'm thinking the game is dry. At least I've told the Reds that too. We're looking at a clearing gradually throughout the game, maybe a little drop in humidity, but not that much, with a 75-degree temperature as the game ends and the fireworks begin. So it's Fireworks Friday, down at Great American Ballpark. The weather should cooperate just fine. Okay, then we head into a somewhat lower humidity for the weekend. Both Saturday and Sunday look dry. Nice mornings, warm afternoons, humidity. You'll still feel it, but it won't be at all like it is right now. We're looking at 90 on Monday and partly cloudy. Then we go back to more warm and humid air with Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday having scattered showers and thunderstorms around the tri-state. Okay, and then beyond the 7-day forecast, I've got highs in the upper 80s for the 12th and the 13th. That's a Friday and a Saturday. And then the 14th through the 18th, highs in the 90s. Chance of a shower or thunderstorm a couple days. Okay, just those pop-up things, so no big rain event coming our way. And then we're talking about by the 18th, we're staying in the 90s. So here's a summary graphic for you of the next 14 days. Okay, there are the highs and lows. We'll put the normal lines on there, and you can see we stay at or above normal on the high side, at or above normal on the low side. So it's going to average out a little bit warmer than normal for this time of year. Okay, now before I go to Facebook to take some questions, and for those of you that may be watching on YouTube and you want to interact with this, because we've been having trouble getting this to work consistently, and it seems like we're beginning to work out the problems. I'm not really sure what they are, but it's working tonight. We fully intend to make YouTube interactive also. Right now it's only interactive on Facebook, and we will do that once we make sure that we can consistently get the YouTube stream to work. Excuse me a second. throat a little dry. I've been talking a lot today. Of course, I do every day. Okay, so let's go back to radar and see what we've got going on. So everybody's up to date on the status of what may happen for the fireworks. Okay, so here is the latest radar loop, and I'll stop at it now and give it to you full screen. It'll pop up here in a second. There you go. Okay, so you can see the shower activity moving east very, very quickly. I'll stop it at now, okay? And if I check radar on another app, those showers are moving east. Let's see, at about 23 knots, that makes it about 27 miles an hour. And so I can show you where they seem to be going, okay? So I'm going to select a tool here. That tool is set up for 30, so I've got to change the timing. 27 miles an hour, I enter. And here are the showers right there. They're moving to the east-northeast. And they should make it, right now it's 7:35. So in about 21 minutes, it's 7:56 to Oxford, to the city of Hamilton, 8:24, 9:18 to Deerfield Township, 10:05 to Goshen in northern Claremont County, and then to Mount Sterling. Mount Sterling is really out of our viewing area, but it will make it to Mount Sterling by 10:05. Okay, so they're moving pretty quickly. They seem to be dying out. Now we also have some shower activity that's popped up since I've been talking to you about this. From right down, come on, okay, let's, I'm trying to do 12 things at once here, so forgive me if it's a little awkward. There are a few more showers popping up down to the south. The one near Vienna is to the west of 65 still, and there's one that is between Lovett and Rexville, okay, and that, of course, Rexville is in the southern part of Ripley County in our viewing area, and you see 421 going right through there. So that is going to affect the area from Rexville to Bryansburg as it moves off to the east-northeast. We'll probably make it over to Cedar Creek, okay. So let me put a timeline on that for those of you in southeast Indiana. That way you guys can kind of figure out where it's going. I'll use a different timeline this time, okay. And so this is just for an individual cell. So this is going to travel like this. So should make it to Cross Plains by 8:02. Should make it to Cedar Creek. Now that's not Cedar Creek in Ohio. This is Cedar Creek, the community there in southeast Indiana, by 8:15. To Cotton in 8:26, and by 8:44 over to Randolph. And that shower is not a big one. And still no lightning with any of that stuff, but it definitely is going to have a brief period of heavy rain around the areas that it passes over. So, okay, let me try and erase all that. I'll zoom back out as soon as I get to the right tool. And there we go. That's all we have in the way of shower activity. It's not too much different than what the models have said as far as placement goes. But the models have had a lot more out there, so they are overperforming. And so I think for the most part, we're fine. And the really important thing is not so much the rain, but there's not any really high winds with these. And there's no lightning. I've got the lightning switch turned on, so there's just no lightning. So we are, again, talking about just some showers that'll move through quickly and should not impact the fireworks. Okay, now let me, let's see, I switch over to camera 1 here. I do this. Now I'm looking at this camera. That makes it easier for me to work on the computer that we have Facebook and YouTube on. I can go here and go to the Facebook tab. Okay, so got quite a few comments, okay. Melvin Stone Street. Hi, Melvin. You're one of our regulars here. I hope you're doing okay. I hope you've enjoyed the 4th. Is it going to rain tomorrow? Yeah, we'll have some scattered showers and thunderstorms tomorrow. I'll look at those in the model again here in a few minutes for you. Okay, Azazel, I'm sorry if I pronounced that. Jeez. Okay, here we go. Where did we go? So Azazel, and I didn't get the rest of your name, it went somewhere, but ask about anything bad in Batavia. No, I don't think so. Nothing severe, nothing, but you might get a brief heavy downpour later on. Okay, there we go. Zazzle Don Long, I'm sorry. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so will the rain be around by 10 o'clock p.m. fireworks in the Hamilton area? No, it should be off to the east by then, so that shouldn't be a problem. Blue Mooney says, we got a plate for you. Oh, man, I wish I could take you up on it, but no, I got to work. I don't have time to eat right now. Connor Scribner, Adams County. Yeah, I think it's dry. It's dry for a long time. If you get rain out in Adams County, it'll be long after the fireworks are over. So if you're worried about that, I don't think so. Oxford, it will. If the whole storms that we just saw on radar hold together, Oxford will probably get a little bit of rainfall, but they should be gone by the fireworks. It should be gone by the fireworks also. Jeff Beechler wants to know if there's any snow in the forecast. LOL. Jeff, no. But I appreciate the comic relief here. Thanks, Jeff. James Pearson. I wants to know if it's going to rain in College Corner around 10 p.m. I don't think so, James. I think College Corner, you've got a good chance of getting a brief shower here in the next little while. In other words, it's just south and west of you. It may impact you, but by 10 o'clock it should be long gone. So I don't think, if you have fireworks you're talking about at College Corner, I don't think it's going to be an issue. Okay, yeah, okay. Zazzle Don Long says he'd rather have it snow. Okay. And, Zazzle, I love winter too. And I love winter and summer only because I'm a summer baby. I'm a summer baby too. I was born in August. So not long from now, the clock ticks one more year off and I'll be 71. But I love winter. I love winter much more than summer. But I like summer too because I too am a summer baby. I got you on that one. Matty Goins? No severe threats tonight and tomorrow. The severe threats are over. There might be a brief heavy downpour, but these storms, or these showers that I showed you on radar, with as humid as it is out there, if they were going to become big thunderstorms, they would have done it by now. So I really don't think we're looking at anything that's going to be that big. Jeff Beechler says snow is more fun than storms. He says he loves fall and winter. Yeah, you know what? I love when the trees are all those beautiful different colors. And I swear to God, for those of you watching from Adams County, this fall I'm going to get some time off so I can get out to Adams County to do some photography when the leaves are peak color, because I've seen some gorgeous shots of Adams County. Now, I've been through Adams County, but not to some of these locations that are really, really nice. All right. Jeff Beach, he's an October baby. October 30th, I'm an August baby. August 4th. 1 month from today, I turned 71. Okay. He likes that polo shirt. I'm sorry, it's got an official logo, and the place we buy them from will only sell it to the station. So, and I had it tucked in before, but I was so late trying to get my microphone on, I didn't tuck it back in. Is that Mountain Dew? It is Diet Mountain Dew right here. Yep. So Blue Mooney wants to know that. Yeah, that's my drink. I probably drink way too much Diet Mountain Dew, but I've been a Mountain Dew fan since it first came out. Now, I'm old enough to remember when the phrase for Mountain Dew was Yahoo Mountain Dew. The way they advertised it and the way they showed a character that represented it was kind of insulting, because it wouldn't be what we would call PC nowadays. But I didn't think they meant anything bad by it. But yeah, Mountain Dew, yes, my drink forever. Okay, so Sam McMillan wants to know, you see all of August and most of September being really warm. Well, you know what? I think what happens here is I think we get really warm from maybe the next and beyond the 7-day up through the end of July, and then it'll start breaking up. It's hard for it to hold, but I think overall July, August, and September are going to average out warmer than normal, but not necessarily blazingly hot. Unfortunately, I still think, even though we've had quite a bit of rain in spots the past few days, I think we're going to end up more on the dry side than wet side. And we can talk about that in a little bit more detail tomorrow, because the drought monitor came out today, and most of us are abnormally dry to a moderate drought around the tri-state, and that data only went through Tuesday, so it doesn't include the rain after Tuesday. Angie Monroe wants to know if anything will pop up in front of this things we saw on radar. I don't think so, Angie. We can go back to radar here, full. Let me see. And again, I've got to keep changing this. I don't know what you're looking at. Okay, I can put radar back in full. And so if you're looking at these, notice there's a couple here now around the Brookville area, northeast of Brookville. They're actually to the east of Batesville now, moving along 74. And just a few spotty here. They just don't show signs that they're growing. This one in northern Ripley County, and that's some really heavy rain right there. As a matter of fact, if you're interested in that, let's go back to full screen here, and I can change this over to rain rate. Now let me zoom in a little bit so we get a little bit better picture of where these showers are. So we're going to zoom in, and I am going to change it. I am going to change to rainfall rates, and it'll pop up. You'll see the banner change there. Okay, so there's rainfall rates, and if you take a look, just north of Versailles, right along I-74 there in northern Ripley County, the rainfall rate is 1.63 inches an hour. Let me zoom in a little bit more on some of these things so you can see where the heaviest rain is. Okay, so the colors here represent how heavy the rain is falling. Now, it won't sit over you for an hour, so you're not going to get that much rainfall. But if it did sit over you for an hour, that's how we measure it. So right north of Napoleon, there's Osgood, there's Napoleon, Indiana, and if we take a look at that little magenta part there, that's 2.78 inches in an hour. So if that cell sat right over one location for an hour, it'd be 2.78 inches. But if it sits there for a half an hour, it's still over an inch. It's 1.4, almost 1.4 inches of rain. And if it sits there for 50 minutes, it's still 15 minutes, I should say. It's still about 3/4 of an inch. Now, right there, okay, now you just saw the radar update. And if you look at this, you see another little dot with that magenta color in the northeastern part, and that's 1.97 inches per hour, so over 2 inches in an hour. And that's moving into the Kelso area. So if you happen to know anybody that is now driving on I-74 between Kelso and Batesville, they are getting lots and lots of rainfall out that way. As a matter of fact, let me see while you're looking at that, I'm going to see if I can load a traffic camera from I-74 out there in Indiana. And it takes me a little while because I've got to, okay, let's see. I've got to go into edit mode, so I don't know what what you see. That's the camera I'm looking at right now. That's a live shot off an Indiana Department of Transportation camera, but I want to move it to a camera around St. Leon. So that is the camera at I-74 and US 421 in Indiana. If I can go to St. Leon here, we might see, okay, I don't see any rain in St. Leon, so that's obviously too far to the east. Go to Penntown. Oh, there you go. Okay, so a little bit to the west of St. Leon, you see this is the rainfall that's coming down there at Penntown on I-74. So that's pretty hefty. It's not sprinkles, it's good rain. You can see rain on the lens cover. We can go a little bit farther west, and so that is at State Route 101 at I-74 in Indiana. It's mile marker 155.8. Okay, let me take a look. Okay, we go to Batesville. Batesville is out of the rain now, but you can see we are now looking toward the rain. So you're on I-74 in the Batesville area, and we're looking toward the east. So you see the dark clouds there. You can see the roads are wet, so it did rain in Batesville. If we go back to Penntown on I-74, there's the heavy rainfall. And if we go a little bit farther east than that to St. Leon, you can see the rain hasn't arrived yet, and I'm pretty sure we are looking, we got to be looking west there, I'm guessing. So we'll check, we might be able to check back with them in just a little while. So there again at Penntown, and again, that is a live shot. Now it's a stop action, so we're not looking at, we're not actually looking at motion, but that is what it looks like. Okay, I-74, and we're looking west into the rain. So there's quite a bit of rain coming down that way. And that kind of squares with what we just saw on radar. Okay, let's see. We'll go back to radar here in a second. But it definitely doesn't look like anything severe in the area. Okay, so we're going to load radar, and I'll be back with you in just a second here. Okay, so there are the three cells, and the one we just saw is yeah, I'm trying to select the tool. The one we just saw is right here. Okay, so you see where it says Penntown. I can put it on here. Right, so here's I-74. Here's Penntown right here. And we just saw it. Now, this is updated since we looked at the camera, but this is the heavy rain that was there on I-74. And it's actually heavier between Penntown and Sunman along 101 in Indiana. So that is what we're looking at. But notice we see no signs of any kind of lightning. Okay, so these are just showers. I can't rule out one of them becoming a light thunderstorm, but I certainly don't think that we're going to see much in the way of rain and thunderstorm activity with the rain. But where it does rain, it'll stop pretty quickly. It'll just be steamier. That's all that the rain's going to do. It's not going to cool it off or anything. It's just going to make it steamier. And there you see the three cells. They're moving to the east about 30 miles an hour. And again, if let me zoom out a little bit here, and we'll put a timeline on it. And okay, they're moving a little bit north of east. And I got to select the right tool. The tool is this one, so we're drawing the line. And they're going to move about like this, a little bit north of east. So it is now 7:51, so any time now it'll make it into Oxford, 8:27 to Hamilton, 9:05 into downtown Cincinnati. That's if they hold together. Like downtown Cincinnati might be in between storms, but in the vicinity of downtown Cincinnati. To Union Township in Claremont County by 9:42, and then 10:37 to Washington Courthouse, which is just out of our viewing area. Okay, let me go back to Facebook here, camera one, so now I'm on the right camera, and see if there are any more questions or comments. Okay, and then Dan and Amy Smith, any severe storms in Covington? No, nothing tonight that'll be severe. You might get a brief heavy downpour, but that's about it. David Perry says his grass is happy. Yeah, our yard is too, I tell you what. And my wife is even happier because she didn't have to spend a couple hours out in that steamy air watering all her plants. So, okay, Andy Combs wants to know, how's it looking around 6 a.m.? We're heading out for North Carolina in the morning. Should be fine. I think we've got a break in the rain in the morning, so as you head out toward North Carolina, it should be fine. Travel conditions should be good, and that'll get you off to a good start. Lois Green, what about Ripley, Ohio? Well, I'll tell you what, let's see. Let me take a look quickly at radar. Yeah, well, you're not, Lois, I think that what's going to happen is the storms won't make it as far east as Ripley, the showers anyway that we see up there. So if you're wondering about like 10 o'clock-ish for fireworks, Lois, I think you're going to be okay. Let's see. Errol Lloyd said keep the weather news coming. We're going to do that. We're going to do this as much as we can, whenever, and there's always weather, but so that we can keep everybody informed and we can make it available to you and make it as easy on you to get the weather information you need. Azazel Don Long says August 26th, August 4th for me. So, and I just heard today the Creamy Whip, or the Whippy Dippy, or whatever we call it. It was the ice cream place, the soft serve ice cream place in Loveland, is up for sale, and they if they don't get a seller, they're going to close it. And I was planning on going there on the 4th of August because I got my first soft serve ice cream cone at that very place when I was 4 years old on August 4th, 1957. So it's been 67 years since that first ice cream cone. I grew up near there. And so I was going to go there, and I'm hoping it's still open, so I want to go there and shoot a little video and say, hey, it was 67 years ago today. I was standing right here, and my mom and dad bought me my first soft serve ice cream cone. And Joy Anderson Albers Chambry says, you don't look old enough to be 71. Thank you very much. You made my day. Yeah, I am. I may not look that, but I tell you what, every morning when you get up and it's a little stiffer than the morning before, hard to get up and get those those legs moving, you know. All right. What are my workout rituals? Well, for years and years I was a runner. My knees started going bad and I started riding my bicycle. So now that I can't recover as quickly, so I ride my bike to and from work about twice a week. And the way I go is 18 miles in and 12 miles on the way home. And it's pretty nice because I'm riding home at midnight or a little bit later and very few cars out there. So not much traffic, and since you're at night and you have lots of lights on you, you're more visible during the day, and all the years I've been riding my bike at night, I've never had a trouble. But you got to be careful of the roads you take. You can't take them. All right, let's see. Kristen Dahlstrom says she wants rain. So do we. We need some more. So Susan Wally Coriel Horn said, sorry she got on late. Do you think Blanchester will get any rain? Fireworks are still on for tonight. You know, I think it's going to be hard for it to make it as far east as Blanchester. So you'll probably see some rain, but I don't think it's going to make it to Blanchester by the time, and if it holds together. So let me go ahead and... if it makes it, it's going to make it around 10 o'clock. But these storms are dying out and they're not moving very fast anymore. So I think you're okay with the fireworks in Blanchester. I'll keep my fingers crossed for you. Nope. Stephen Bryce Campbell wants to know if there'll be a tornado warning. No. There was one tornado that touched down to the west of Louisville earlier today. But that part of the system's way south of us, so we do not have severe weather in the forecast this evening or overnight. Brenda K. Barnett says hello. Hi, Brenda. So Linda Berg says, so rain in the Cincinnati area around 9. Let me retime this really quickly. It's just some scattered showers, and they tend to be dying out. So it'll just be hit and miss, and so most areas will stay dry, although there will be 1 or 2 showers left around the area. Happy 4th to you, Brenda. Brenda K. Barnett. All right, okay, I've got to get moving here. Let's see. Somebody just said... okay, so thank you very much. You just got a report in from Sunman. I just lost it again. Let me, because it said very windy, almost sideways rain here in Sun. That was from Kimberly Franklin. So let's go ahead and take a look at the radar in Sunman. Let me erase what's on the screen right now. And okay, we'll box zoom into the Sunman area. Okay, so you see Sunman right there, okay, so we take it full screen. You can see Sunman there. I'll point it out when I come back on here. Right over here is Sunman, and so the red here just came through the Sunman area. It's beginning to taper off, but she said almost sideways rain, windy in the Sunman area, and that would include everything from Sunman over to Kelso and almost down to Manchester. And so that rain continues to move to the east. And once it starts, it doesn't last very long, and that's why I say there'll be a few spots that have trouble with their fireworks, but most areas will not have an issue. And in most cases, if it's just rain and not too windy, they'll be able to launch them. It's when you get lightning that you have to really worry about, and high winds. So we're hoping that the high winds kind of die down. But that was from the Sun. That report was from the Sunman area. From Kimberly Franklin. So Kimberly, thank you for the report. Well, yeah, that's what Marianne Shields said. You buy the ice cream place, Steve. Yeah, I kind of like to, but you know how things are nowadays. Buying the business is one thing, but the property it's sitting on is pretty valuable there in Loveland. And besides, I want to retire. I don't want to work anymore. So I hope somebody buys it, keeps it open, so I just go over there and buy some more ice cream. You're welcome, Linda Berg. And Jeff Beechler, thanks. You have a happy 4th too. Thank you all. I've got to get going now. So thank you very much for watching. I'll be on again tomorrow night, and we'll talk more about this. So if you're going to a fireworks spot, as I said, there will be a few spots that have trouble with the rain. Most areas won't, so I hope you're in one of the spots that doesn't get the rainfall. So that's it for now. Thank you for joining me, and see you again tomorrow if you have time to join us again.